Hello and welcome to the Dead Spot Cinema Club, the podcast where we guide each other through cinematic journeys we probably should have taken a long time ago. We pick the films everyone assumes we've already seen, track down whoever in the group somehow missed it, and make them watch and review it. So please join me, Amy, along with Andy.
Hello.
Mark.
Hello.
And Rhys.
I think Val Kilmer's a skinwalker, guys.
As we take on Top Gun. Released in 1986 and directed by Tony Scott, Top Gun stars Tom Cruise as Maverick, a hotshot naval aviator training at the elite fighter weapons school. The film became a pop culture phenomenon, boosting recruitment for the US Navy, redefining the action blockbuster, and cementing Cruise as a global movie star. With a budget of around $15 million, Top Gun went on to gross over $350 million worldwide, making it one of the highest grossing films of the 1980s. A lot of that success comes down to its blend of real aerial footage, slick direction, undeniable star power, and a soundtrack that feels like a greatest hits album. Over the years, Top Gun has become more than just a movie. It's a time capsule of 80s style, ambition, and it's now widely recognised as a culturally significant film in modern cinema history. So for me, Top Gun is one of those films where I genuinely can't remember the first time I watched it. It's just always been there. I had it on VHS, and it was one of those comfort movies I'd put on repeat to fall asleep back when that was just what you did. Honestly, the music is such a huge part of why it's stuck. That iconic soundtrack, it's pure 80s cinematic energy. So, Andy, have you seen this?
I have seen this. You made me see this. Now, I think it's an okay movie. I don't know why it was such a massive success. You know, it was a bit different in the 80s. I found it good, but not like amazing. To be fair, the music is a key part of it. I can't help but feel the song that I think of the most isn't an 80s song, it's an older song that they've got in it, but...
Is it Beethoven?
It is not.
It's Green Sleeves.
I think it'll definitely have Rhys jump up at one point and say, I know that a film I like references this. So that's all good.
It's all we want from this journey, really.
Rhys, have you seen it?
I have not seen it, but this is one of those movies that I feel like I've heard enough about that I can piece together in my head. I think I've actually physically seen a little bit of one scene from it. Literally like a 2-second snippet of Tom Cruise saying something while sitting in a deck chair. Apart from that, I've never seen something that really is in this film, I don't think. Pictures, stills, nothing I can off the top of my head be like, that's definitely Top Gun. But I think I know a lot about it.
What about you, Mark?
I have never seen it, and I don't know how I haven't seen it. It's just one of those ones that just slipped through my net, and I just wasn't interested by the time I had enough consciousness to choose what films to watch. Like Rhys, I've seen a lot of references to it. I'm sure there'll be references I didn't know were Top Gun references, but unless it was obvious and they were in a fast jet. I know volleyball's a big part of it, but I don't know how big. Is it 80% of the film?
I hope so.
I know the sequel's out, and I'm excited to watch that, but I think I need to watch the first one first.
So going in, do we have any predictions for what you think might happen other than the volleyball?
I think that Tom Cruise is a maverick kind of guy. He flies jets, but he doesn't play by the rules. He's got a buddy called Goose. I don't know if Goose is a man or a woman, but Goose flies the other jet, I think. I honestly don't know what their purpose is. I don't know if they're at war. I assume they're in the Air Force, but I don't know that for sure. I just know they're flying jets. So presumably they're at some kind of war, because otherwise why would there be a really important movie or mission that they've got to do? I know they take a break and play some volleyball, and there's an absolute banger playing when they do that, but I can't off the top of my head think of what it is, but I know I've seen a scene that spoofs it with a good song, so I assume it's that. I know there's a cool bit when someone's talking to Tom Cruise, and they're like, how did you do that? And he said something along the lines of, because I was inverted or something. And that's like a big, cool thing that he does. I don't really understand that, but that's what I've heard. I think Tom Cruise is going to take his shirt off loads. And this is peak Cruise. So I'm probably going to be pretty impressed by that. There's probably going to be loads of topless dudes and maybe a few women in bikinis to supplement them. So I think it's going to be a good movie. I would love it if the music is good. And I'm not encouraged at all by you saying the music is good, because you also said the music was good in Breakfast Club and there was 2 songs in it. So
they were good songs though, weren't they?
It was the same song twice.
It was the same song twice, and then it was reprised. I would like to think this is a bit better, because seems bigger to me. Like, I've heard, you said there's a sequel, but isn't that like a remake or something as well? I feel like there's been a lot of Top Gun hype around in the last 5 years. and I'm not really sure why, because I've avoided anything to do with it, because I was like, oh, one day I'll watch Top Gun and know what the fuck all this is about. But yeah, I know they wear green jumpsuits and wear aviators and probably have good abs, so I'm in.
What about you, Mark?
Yeah, there's a few things I know about this. Call signs, Maverick and Goose, I've heard a lot. Pilots in the Navy, Danger Zone. But anything to do with the plot, I assume it's Cold War gone hot and they go to war with some kind of Eastern European country that America didn't like in the 80s. I'd just be conflating what I've seen in Hot Shots and what I've seen in the film Stealth about the autonomous fighter jet, which wasn't a very good film. So I don't want to guess what the plot is apart from they shoot down other planes.
So we've got a little mini game. We've got 4 quotes to see if you can guess the missing bits. Then we'll see how correct you were after the film's been watched.
Okay.
So the first one, I feel the need. What do you think comes next?
The need for speed.
Yeah, I was going to go with that. Just less dramatic.
I'm wearing the sunglasses, yeah, so.
Yeah, which works really well on the podcast. If you think, what?
Therefore I am.
If you think, then you can deliver.
Sounds like a great poster. Next one, we've got, your ego is.
Your ego is so big it won't fit in the cockpit.
Okay, nice.
Love it.
Your ego is going to take us to the places we go.
I'm glad you're not a writer, Rhys, quite frankly.
Bitch, watch yourself. Because I'm going to write something just to spite you now, and it's going to do fucking well.
That'll show him.
I've got a lot going on. I can add author to my repertoire.
Last one, you can be my blank.
Hero, baby. I can wish away the pain. You can take my breath away.
Are we going to get copyright struck for that?
Yeah, it's too similar, Rhys, sorry.
You're just too good.
I just saw the lyrics of You Can Call Me Al, You Can Be My Bodyguard. But I think I might know, is it You Can Be My Wingman? I think I might have heard that one.
Okay, write that down, Andy, and write all of Rhys's down too.
Yeah, word for word.
So what was Rhys's for your ego is? Because I was so shocked by how amazing it was.
Your ego will take us to the places we go.
Sounds worse the second time.
My amigo.
Say that again. My mind is boggling.
It'll be recorded, Andy.
That we go.
Mi amigo. Your ego will take us to the places we go.
Hey, try to think of anything that's not aged well.
Tom Cruise.
Once again, being an 80s film, consent does not seem to be important.
Mm-hmm.
Is that specific to 80s films? I need to send a text. Hang on.
I will say Rhys will probably get a bit too involved in men's bodies in this film, like he's already alluded to.
I'm here for it, dude. I'm here for it. I managed to do that in Die Hard, and there's like one dude who gets his shirt off for about 4 seconds in it, so.
He's got a spreadsheet he needs to update, so he's...
Yeah.
Mr. Skin.
Oh, God.
I just remind everyone Mr. Skin exists.
Does it still exist? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't want to open a tab. What's the age rating for this film?
No, it's a 15 and it's 1 hour, 50 minutes.
That's good. Do you know, I reckon I can do 1 hour, 50 minutes of volleyball and jets. I'm not imagining this is going to have an intense story where I'm going to have to remember loads of people's names.
Okay, so we'll all go away, give it a watch, and then come back, see what we think. We'll see you all later. Bye.
Bye.
Your ego is taking us places that we need to go.
You fucked it up again.
You had it written down in front of you, Andy.
I'm going to take my ego and you can watch me go.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
And welcome back. Everyone by now should have gone away and watched the film. Hopefully everyone cried as much as I did. If not, you're all heartless.
I cried when they put their t-shirts back on.
I was inconsolable. I've never cried as much at this film as I have last night.
I didn't cry, but yeah, I've seen it.
I mean, I have cried this week. Is that relevant?
So yeah, what did you think? Go from the off. Start off, amazing soundtrack.
So the film starts dramatic 80s music.
It doesn't just start with dramatic 80s music. It starts with fucking Danger Zone. which I knew was in this movie but forgot. And you
Yeah.
know, everything was great about it. It was fantastic.
I didn't realize how many 80s songs I knew that were made for this film.
Yeah, like Danger Zone, Danger Zone, Danger Zone.
It did do that thing of just having that one song. Yeah. So we get text on screen to give us a bit of backstory. So March 1969, the US Navy established an elite school for the top 1% of pilots to teach the lost art of aerial combat and to be the best fighter pilots in the world. The Navy called the Fighter Weapons School, but the Flyers call it, and I could fucking guess. So from that, I thought, oh, is this set in the 60s? But no, it's not about the establishment of the school. It says it's set in present day. I decided at that point I was going to latch onto that elite and top 1% thing because I didn't know how well the actors were going to portray that. Yeah, I didn't know Val Kilmer was in it.
Who's that?
Iceman.
He looked familiar, but I couldn't place him. What's Val Kilmer in? I'm lying. I know from his name that he's in Batman, but I've never seen a Batman that he's in, so I don't know what Batman he was.
He's in a lot of films you haven't seen, but you haven't seen most films according to our sheet, so...
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. Which Batman was he?
I reckon he was in... Oh, fuck. That one. Not Batman.
The Batman who fucks.
I could Google it, but I'm just trying to use my goddamn
Because
brain.
we've got these big old brains.
We're a film podcast, we should know this shit.
Should know everything. Yes, when the names were coming on the screen, I mean, I wasn't focusing on too much, so I was watching this on my walking pad. Thanks, Andy, name his mum. And as soon as Danger Zone came on, I was absolutely grooving on the walking pad, just to be clear. I was strutting. Then the names were coming on in such a way I was like, I should know more of these names, but I only knew Tom Cruise.
Opening scene is Jet taxiing on an aircraft carrier. Put question mark there because you didn't see it was on an aircraft carrier till later. I just assumed. Danger Zone continues as they take off. I remember one of my predictions being that Danger Zone was a song from this, but I think that was the most basic of predictions to get right. But yeah, it's just a scene of guys getting really pumped for jets landing and taking off. It's like all the air traffic controls on the ground just like, fuck yeah, every time a jet took off. It's like, imagine enjoying your job that much.
I was jealous of how much they enjoyed their jobs.
I assumed they were real aircraft people and not actors at that point.
Was probably, it's probably easier to do that. Just ask the Navy, hey, do you want to show some guys? And, you get to be in a film, we get to save money on extras, and would they actually know what they're doing?
That would make sense then, if they just said, act excited about it, and then you've got a bunch of non-actors going, okay, how do I act excited when it's only my silhouette showing? Yay! Throwing his arms around.
The scenes in this, with the flying and everything, I assume they are all live action, they were actually done.
Yes, they were all live action.
They paid the Navy a lot of money.
I would have thought there'd just be some kind of agreement, because it makes the Navy look good, probably drives recruitment. Navy won there. So yeah, it's set in the Indian Ocean present day initially, meaning the 1980s, not 2026 and not 1969. And we go straight into Maverick and Goose as their call sign. So they're the names I knew were the main characters. So I know this isn't an origin story. These guys are already pilots. So I didn't know anything. I thought this was like going to be them going through training or something, but no, straight in. They're already established good pilots.
I got a bit confused because I just read about a training school and then we cut to like already seemingly qualified and in combat pilots. I was really confused because I was expecting to read that and then cut to police academy for pilots, basically.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I was expecting. So I was really confused when they were already in a fight. I was like, wait. And then I immediately forgot about what I read about pilot school. So then I was just like, okay, cool. These guys are just fighter pilots and there's nothing to do with training happens in this movie at all, is where I went with it. And I still don't fully understand the dynamic going from where they were to then going back to pilot school. I don't fully get that.
It's for the top 1% to make them even better, which makes no sense because you want all your pilots better.
Were all of them in combat roles before they got to training?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they took all those pilots off the front line to go and train so that one of them could be the best in that class and then go back to the combat roles exactly as good as they were when they got there.
In theory, they would be better because they'd had extra dogfight training compared to the basic dog.
They'd have had actual experience if they stayed out on the front line.
Yeah.
I still can't wrap my head around it. I'm fine with it because it was cool, but I can't wrap my head around why they could have just not done that beginning bit and started in class. And apart from having to somehow manufacture the MiG stories, they didn't need that first bit.
So it's not currently in their doctrine to do these advanced aerial maneuvers because it wasn't required for the Second World War as much. And in Vietnam, they realized they were losing a lot of fighters, was it? And so they started bringing back old dogfighting techniques, which were only taught to the top 1%.
Just checked. This school is real. This is a real program in the US Navy.
So rather than training 99% of the other pilots to be as good as that 1%, they'd rather train that 1% to be ballsy as fuck.
Yeah, the 99% could just die in a dogfight.
Just fodder, yeah. But then they deployed all of them later in the film. Never mind.
I'd love to now suggest that that's not the right way of doing it, but time's not on our side when we're trying to criticize the US Air Force. This isn't the time.
So Maverick and Goose are in the air in the Indian Ocean. They encounter 2 MiG-28s. One is on their tail. Another call sign Cougar is getting chased by one. He's absolutely whipping his head around to see behind him. It's like, there must be a better way for fast jets to be able to see behind them than breaking your neck while you're trying to fly an aircraft.
The observers seemed to do that throughout, didn't they? The observers were like properly up and around, and I'm like, are you buckled into anything? Because you eject in a minute. I was excited by the first line in the movie, though. Did you clock that? That was something that I just knew was really famous. Literally the first line spoken is Tom Cruise going, "Talk to me, Goose." I was a bit excited when I heard that, because I was like,
I've heard that, yeah. So Maverick then saves Cougar by locking onto all the MiGs, and the MiG buggers off. They went to scare off Merlin's bogey, which I've heard a lot from like Lilac Wars, Pilot Wars. What do they call it? What's a real name for Lilac Wars? Star Fox. They call them bogeys and that.
you just used a lot of words I don't know.
Unfortunately, I know what he means.
I just had a SNES aneurysm.
Bogey's a pretty common term, right?
Yeah, for just like enemy and Navy speak. Something you need to pick and wipe on a wall.
Something you need to eat to get your zinc.
Amy's just dying a little bit here.
Already starting to get cocky, flying upside down. There was like a visible tear effect there, which is the part where it was like, which part's practical, which part's, early green screen. I forgave it. What I didn't forgive is flash photography while flying. That's not a good idea. And this is all just to establish how cocky your Maverick and Goose are. They're arrogant, they're pissing everyone off, but, they are skilled.
Here's what I don't fully get, right? And maybe you can help me understand. What are they trying to do in this battle? They're obviously trying to fight over aerial dominance so that these MiGs fuck off. How does one establish that? I don't get it. Are they just trying to prove they're a better pilot? Why did flying above the top of him scare him enough to send him away? I don't really get it.
It was the Cold War, so no shots were being exchanged in real life. This was all just shows of strength. So I'm guessing just the fact he managed to lock onto the other one scared him off, and then the other one was then surrounded by 2 jets. One was clearly a more skilled fighter. That's how I saw it anyway. So Cougar started having a panic attack and stops talking to everyone. Life flashed before his eyes and all that. Yeah, he's certainly not in the top 1% of elite pilots, this guy, is he?
Top 1% of pussies.
Maverick is an absolute maverick. There's no way to say it. Does a touchdown takeoff, back up to help his friend, manages to talk him down. He does a shit landing, but everyone survives.
Do they not have dual controls?
This was my question.
This was what I wondered, because I don't know about you guys, but one of us on this podcast has actually flown fast jet. And it was quite normal that every fast jet available had dual controls. And I'm wondering, was this just not a thing in that model of jet or that era of jet? Why isn't Cougar's mate just turning around for them?
They're rear crew, so they're trained to observe, not fly the plane.
But yeah, this did stress me out when he was running out of fuel. I don't even know that is like brave and Maverick. That was just pure stupid. If he hadn't have been able to help, then Cougar's just dead and they're dead. And they've also lost $60 million worth of jets. I felt like there could have been a better way to show him being Maverick than fly with no fuel in your fucking jet.
So Cougar was sent to the sick bay after this, but then he resigned as a pilot while he's still on an aircraft carrier in the Indian Ocean.
Hands in his badge and gun.
But then Maverick gets called in for his disciplinary, where they recite his CV with explicit exposition. And then reluctantly, they decide to send him to Top Gun, because Cougar was their choice, but now he's not.
We got another quote that I've heard a lot since then, and I'm guessing it's from this movie, and that was that Tom Cruise got told his ego was right and checks his body can't cash. I was like, I've heard that a lot of times since then, and I assume this is where that's from.
Yeah.
So the next scene, we're straight into their first lesson at Top Gun school. Their instructor is called Viper.
Viper is based off a real person, also called Viper. Andy, you okay?
Andy's having a stroke. Val Kilmer keeps smiling at Tom Cruise, so I think he fancies him at this point.
He's just got this shit-eating grin. Just looks evil, even when he's trying to be nice. I did write in one note, just of course he rides a motorbike without a helmet, was a note I made, just in case it wasn't clear enough that he's a maverick.
And when I was getting to scenes like that, I was like, oh, I remember this from Hot Shots. Hot Shot is the parody of Top Gun, like the scary movie is the stream.
Oh, you didn't mention you've seen that before this, though, did you?
I still didn't know the plot of Top Gun from that because it parodies multiple films. I think Viper also fancies him at this point because he says, "Oh, I like that he's arrogant." We find out later, he served with his dad and stuff, so there's probably a reason he likes him. But it just seems like everyone just like can't help but swoon over him at this point.
Throughout the movie, Viper seems to give up that he doesn't actually like the arrogance at all. He says in this opening one, he's like, "I like that kid. We like arrogance here." And then he tells him off for his arrogance every single day.
I didn't expect Goose to also be arrogant, but when they got to the part where it was like putting his name on the plaque on the wall, and he's like, "Oh, my name's going to be on there, you spelled it wrong."
That bit was all improvised as well. Quite a lot of Val Kilmer's lines were improvised because he didn't want to do the film. So he improvised a lot of it, and then by the end of the film, he said he quite enjoyed it. But
did you guys notice anything really unnerving about when that initial class was kind of dismissed before they went to the back where the rankings were? Notice anything weird? Take some time at some point. Watch that scene again. Look in the background by the leaderboard thing on the wall. There's two fellas that have a handshake that lasts a good 15 seconds. It's like they don't know what to do, so they just keep shaking each other's hand really vigorously in the background of the scene, and I couldn't take my eyes off them. Then they have to shuffle out the way for Tom Cruise to come and be in the scene. It's so awkward. I couldn't think about anything else for a good minute.
So the next scene is in the bar, a big night out. He says when he comes in, this is a target-rich environment, which is just absolute pilot banter.
Lads.
It just makes me feel sick. This is where we find out Val Kilmer's call sign was Iceman.
And he wears his sunglasses inside like a knob.
You don't seem to like Iceman. I thought he was the only reasonable person in this film.
I hated him so much.
He's set up to be this 80s villain, he's the jock, he's the guy we need to beat. But everything he says is really valid and rational.
Oh, but he's following the rules. He's my favourite.
Well, he comes over and he criticizes Maverick and was like, "You like working alone? That's weird for a fighter pilot." And I was like, yeah, that is weird for a fighter pilot to be alone. That's correct. He's just a really reasonable guy, just set up to be a shit jock. And it's like, he's not. He's making perfect sense.
He had an aura of cunt about him. Yes, he wasn't being awful. He wasn't a nasty person, but he sucked.
So they're taking bets on sleeping with women. Great. But instead, he decides to do a karaoke serenade for a woman called Charlotte Blackwood.
Don't know if you know, but this is a bit like the scene in Scream.
How did this make you feel, Rhys?
I was a little bit happy because I was like, oh, this is the scene that Amy was talking about when we watched Scream 2. But equally, it made me just deeply uncomfortable. I didn't enjoy it at all. I think it's weird that he had this in his back pocket. Weird that there was a microphone available. It's weird that the music was turned off so that he could sing this. It's weird that he just sat himself next to this lady and started singing at her, knowing nothing about her. It's weird that someone else then just took over and started aggressively singing at them both. It was a really weird situation that I can't get on board with it. He was a better singer than the guy in Scream 2, to be fair. Tom Cruise he was bold. He held the note okay for a drunk dude at a bar.
So he introduced himself as his call sign, which is a classic fucking pilot move. At this point, he's assuming she's nothing to do with the Navy and she's just some woman at a bar and he can impress her by being a pilot. Then gives a really fucking annoying smile when saying he'll let her know how this one goes tomorrow. She's really not impressed, which I'm glad.
I thought that was a good line, to be honest. I thought that was an okay line.
But he doesn't take no for an answer, so tries to save her from a date by following her into the fucking toilet.
Oh, it's fucking bang out of order, that.
He didn't even pause at that door.
No, he's like, well, I'm not done talking to her, so I'm going to go in. But then she lies for him to Goose on the way out, which is weird, and says, oh yeah, he shagged me in the toilet. That was really weird. I guess she has nothing to lose, so.
Amy, how would you feel if someone followed you into the toilet?
I'm concerned.
Wouldn't find it flattering?
I don't think I'd find it flattering, no.
What if he had just sung at you in the bar and you'd rejected him and then he followed you in? Would that be more romantic?
That would probably be a little bit less romantic.
What if he said when he got in there, can you at least tell my mate that we fucked in here? Would that seal it?
I'd probably by that point be calling someone.
What if he had a unibrow?
No, he did such a bad unibrow, no.
Why did he have a unibrow?
If I ever watch the Top Gun sequels, because I know there's more now, I'm sure he doesn't still have a monobrow, but I would love to know the arc of the Maverick character as to when he learns he needs to start plucking his eyebrows. Everyone else has got their eyebrows done.
Different standards in the 80s, I guess.
These male body standards. This is why we all had disorders, trying to grow unibrows in our teens to look like Tom Cruise. Imagine that's what you take from this. Like, I need to try and look more like Tom Cruise. You're there with a Sharpie in the middle of your forehead. Maybe that's why the aviators started coming back, because they've got those like two lines in the middle, so it pretends you've got a unibrow like Tom Cruise. I did write a little note about the gathering of pilots in the bar, and I did write that all of these pilots are not particularly hot, which is kind of weird for pilots, because usually there's a few lookers among pilots. They're pretty well-groomed, hot dudes. Not many lookers in this class, I didn't think. What were your thoughts, guys?
I didn't notice.
Everyone's teeth bothered me, especially Val Kilmer's.
That sounds like you taking too much acid at a party. Everyone's teeth is bothering me.
I know, they just all seemed a bit too perfect, that they were a bit wrong, so it was a bit like turkey teeth, but before turkey teeth were a thing.
What are your thoughts, though, Amy, as a person who often finds men attractive? The pilots, in my view, I was like, these should be like a hunky group of pilots. It's a film about hunky dudes, and it was just a lot of like really ectomorphs.
I feel like as far as the 80s goes, they probably were quite attractive guys. Rewatching this, the person I found the most attractive was Goose.
Oh, she was fawning over Goose the whole film.
Is that a personality thing, though? Because Goose is a nice lad.
Yeah, he's a nice lad, but I think he's also looks-wise the most my type out of everyone.
So the next day in class, it's her. She's a civilian contractor. Was this a trope back then, or was this new from this film where it's like, oh, the person I just made a faux pas with yesterday is, now my new boss? Like,
I reckon it was new for this.
Yeah, it seemed to be set up as a bit of a reveal, so I don't think the average viewer would have been expecting it,
She's a PhD expert in aviation and aerial combat. Everyone's throwing around jokes and banter. Maverick and Goose are trying to explain how, they pulled off all these impressive maneuvers. But they're saying it in such a sarky way that everyone just assumes they're making shit up. Like, we know as the viewer they have done this stuff, but they're just like, yeah, of course I've done that. Of course I fucking have. Yeah, dead easy, actually.
I just put a note here. I can't remember what he said, but I put a note that just said Goose is funny. And that was in this scene. So he said something that tickled me, but he was just giving off good lad vibes in this.
There was a bit of homoerotic banter. Like, it was like two high school kids that never separate and they're just like elbowing each other. Yeah. She calls them hot shots, and I was like, this film must be a parody of that. They go into the first training serial, get chased down by their instructor, Jester, who says, you can run, kid, but you can't hide. There's lots of shots of barrel rolls, desert valleys, as they're flying on the tail of each other, and then they kill Jester.
Kill Jester.
By locking onto him. Then Top Gun theme plays, according to the subtitles on Netflix. They celebrate by trying to buzz the tower, despite being told not to, by the guy drinking coffee.
You've got to wonder, why was that guy surprised? There's only 4 aircraft in the sky, and you'd think in the tower you'd have an idea about where the fuck they are. So why is he there surprised that one's flying past him? I'd hate to be in an Air Force or a Navy where the tower are surprised as an aircraft is flying past it. Like, they should have pretty good knowledge that an aircraft's on its way in, even if it's one of their own.
Your job is air traffic control. Oh, I lost track of where that jet was. So after the training serial, they're all down in the locker room. Iceman makes some really solid points about him being really reckless. At this point, I was like, why is Iceman being set up to be the baddie? He's making a lot of sense.
You and Iceman need to go and fill in some fucking forms together, honestly.
He's like, I'm going to fill in an ace.
Just going back to the little dogfight thing, there was just a bit where they'd lost Jester and they were trying to get him after like a specific maneuver. I was trying to keep up. It's hard to keep up with what's going on in them. I was just like, oh, someone's doing something good. There was a bit where Goose was just like, he's gone over there, and it was kind of obviously a difficult thing to do, and he just went, go do some of that pilot shit. There was like a nice bit of brotherly appreciation that like, you're good at this thing. I don't really know how you do it, but go and do it now.
Jester appears in the shower room in a really weirdly framed shot where there's a guy just chewing gum on his shoulder.
Yeah, like right behind him.
I felt that in a lot of the locker room shots, and there were a lot. I was grateful for that.
There was a lot.
Some of them just seemed to not know how to stand or walk. So everybody looked like an alien from the movie Signs. They were all kind of a little bit overarched back and kind of a little bit swinging their arms a bit slower than they probably should. It was really obscure. It's like they'd just been given bodies. It's been told, just operate these for a bit.
Like the guy from Men in Black.
Yeah, I couldn't work it out. They were just standing a bit odd. I think they must have been told because the lighting was a bit weird in there, and the way lighting reflects off abs in a certain way.
Jesus.
I reckon there was probably some kind of direction to be like, don't get in the way of that light or something. So they're all like leaning back a little bit, probably because then the lighting can like hit their abs and make them look hot and stuff. But it just made them look a bit odd as they were standing and walking.
Sorry, I did notice when they like left the locker room, they did walk in a really weird way, like proper puffing out their chests, just like, oh look, and it just looked so fucking awkward.
They're all quite skinny guys as well, so it's quite obvious when they are pushing something out because it's very skeletal.
I didn't know if they'd just been told to act natural. And it's like when you're still on the stage told to act natural, you don't know what to do with your hands. It's like...
Act natural, you're also not wearing many clothes.
So they're taken to Viper's office, presumably to be chewed out. Get told they broke the rules of the exercise and they went below a certain altitude that it was out of bounds. He justifies it by saying Jester went out, so he chased him, so it's all good. I expected a but from Viper saying, oh, you were reckless, you were shit, you were dangerous, but I fucking loved it. But that never came. He just said, yeah, I was reckless, you were shit, get out. And then Viper and Jester start discussing his record about his father and describe them as wild cards. So you start to get a bit more flavour about the history where Viper's worked with him before and the respect he had for Maverick's dad. Later on, Goose sneaks into the Lavis accommodation. Is that just their temporary accommodation while this runs its course? Because that was like a bungalow to himself. The music implies when he's walking in that he's there to seduce him. I fed him a bottle of wine and 2 glasses, like, hey.
Don't worry what Viper said. Let me look after you tonight.
Goose confides that he's like, I just want to pass this course, mate. We don't need to do all this reckless shit. I don't need to be the best like you. It's dangerous. Let's calm down. Maverick's like, yeah, you're the only family I've got, so I'm not going to do anything silly. The next day, he's flirting with the teacher, and she says, you're too aggressive. And he goes, well, I guess I go right after it, or something like that. And that works. So he gets a date. Volleyball.
Best scene in the 80s.
Yeah, this is the point now that we can all go make like a cup of tea, have a little lie down, and we will talk for about half an hour, and then we can come back and carry on with the rest of the film.
So,
why was he wearing jeans?
my first note is about the jeans.
Mine too.
They're ready to play volleyball. Someone's brought the ball.
Yeah, this is a scheduled game.
They're out for a game of volleyball. They've all decided to wear jeans, but take their tops off. So, like, we're going to be half ready for this. Not a woman in sight, but let's make sure we take our tops off. Like, we won't wear shorts. That'd be gay. But we're going to take our tops off and play some volleyball. Tom Cruise is really good for a 5'6" dude at volleyball. Low-rise jeans. This was the scene for them. It did a good job. Cum gutters are on point.
Goose had shorts on and a top, so...
Goose continues to be my hero, all right? Goose is here for a good time and a long time.
Oh.
Whoa!
I didn't say he gets it, but he's what he's here for, Andy. He's a sensible man.
It's very homoerotic sweatiness, yeah.
Yeah, very much enjoyed this. The sweatiness in this movie. Let's talk about the sweat.
Yeah, I've made a few points. I wonder how many times I've mentioned sweat in my notes.
I have a theory. They are all covered in Vaseline. They have to be covered in some kind of hydrophilic substance because every time someone sweats, it is solid beads on show on their face and stuff. And it's like, that's not how humans sweat. Unless, like before, they are aliens from Signs. This isn't how humans sweat. It doesn't just stay in these little circles of water. They've got to be covered in something, or it's got to be like fake sweat that just clings.
Like glycerin or something, yeah. I just assumed they were getting spritzed with water before every shot, basically. Just like some guy off his camera just spraying them before they deliver their line.
Even with water, it doesn't run. It doesn't run in a single shot. It's really odd. But yeah, they all get really, really hot and sweaty. I'd love to talk more about their muscles, but I'm not allowed.
I'll give you 30 seconds. Go.
Okay, they're all super fucking hot. I can't. They've got good muscles. Tom Cruise never gets bigger than this, unfortunately, but he's in pretty good nick. I didn't have a particular workout program for it. He was just a really skinny, lucky dude. Genetically did a good job and didn't know Val Kilmer had quite as many vertebrae as that.
You probably has more than normal.
Yeah, if you look at Val Kilmer from behind, particularly in the locker room shots, but also in this volleyball one, when you look at from behind, you can really see his cervical spine and like going into the T's as well. So I think he's like definitely got this scoliosis because they're all like sticking out. He looks like he's got 10 more vertebrae.
Saying that, there is a thing about in the film Heat, he's got weird elbows as well, so maybe he's an alien. Who knows?
I think he might be an alien. I think Val Kilmer's a skinwalker, guys. You heard it here first.
Yeah, if you Google Val Kilmer elbow heat, you'll get loads of pictures of bursitis he had during the film.
I never stopped Googling that. And then after sorry, I'm just going to cut because my next note is straight away. is
Yeah.
that after this really hot, sweaty game of volleyball, t-shirt straight on,
Yeah.
big fluffy jacket straight on,
Yeah.
and then my next note was that jacket must fucking stink. He's constantly putting it straight on after going flying, and let me tell you, I don't know if I've mentioned, guys, but I've been flying before, but you get fucking sweaty, and he's putting it straight on even when he's gone straight from the aircraft to getting changed. He's not even showered, and he's going straight from that, and that's fleece lined, it's leather. A young man's not washing that. That's not going to get the right care to get washed. So that is just a minging, stinking jacket. And he's decided, you know what? I can wear this exact same t-shirt that I've just pissed sweat in, this thick fleece jacket, jump on a motorbike, drive a bunch of miles down the road, and I'm going to get laid. I'm not going to be stinking. I'm going to go stink someone else's house out and they're going to thank me for it.
Fun fact about this jacket, the Navy discontinued it in 1983, but then because of this film, they brought it back.
Except that exact one had to get condemned, I imagine.
Yeah, the verb I used was he proceeds sweatily on his motorbike to the date.
Sweatily.
Was that an adjective?
That's an adverb.
Adverb, there we go. He goes on this date and the first thing he does is has to use a shower. Pretty strange to just go into someone's house on a first date and say, can you use your shower?
To be fair, I gained a little bit more respect for him after that. At least he realises he stinks. He's a student.
Yeah, basically is a student.
I don't know how old this lady's meant to be, by the way. I don't really know how old he's meant to be.
She's done her PhD, so...
What do we think of the ages of these characters? Because he's giving off very early 20s vibes. She's giving off like late 20s vibes, maybe.
Yeah.
So she's about 28, 29. He's about 24.
Okay. He's too old to be asking for a shower in someone else's house, to be fair. I thought it may be just student, naive. He thinks it's okay to be a little bit slobbish and cross that boundary, but no, that is weird.
Maybe he's just hoping she'd join him.
Could be.
What a disgusting thought, Andy. He's just met this woman. You have no respect.
If it was going around just for sex, reasonable. But the fact that she wants a casual dinner date where they don't even kiss at the end.
You seem disgusted by that thought, Mark.
I'm a traditional bloke.
He likes his dinner sweaty. He likes his dinner date sweaty and stinky. Do not shower before them, just in case she gets ideas above her station.
Showers weren't invented when I liked dating.
Showers are for sex only.
During the dinner date, he says, oh, you forgot the wine. He's asking for so much from her on a first date.
I hated that so much because the wine was on the fucking table. He's like, you forgot to pour me wine. Motherfucker, you're in her house. She's just fed you. You stink. And she's what, not poured your wine out for you? Oh my goodness.
But yeah, he tells us his parents died while they're listening to Otis Redding. He tells the official story that his dad died through pilot error. He doesn't like that his dad's name as a pilot had been tarnished in this way. Doesn't believe it, and he wants to figure out the truth. She lets him know that she's interested in him romantically, but then he just leaves to go and have a shower.
Just because she wouldn't let him shower.
I can't kiss you. I haven't showered. Sorry. Bye.
I'm not going to lie, I feel that. If I was in his situation, as in just played some sport and put clothes straight on, I'd be thinking about nothing but when I can wash and no one's coming near me.
I've just remembered that every time they were together, he had to wear lifts
Of course he did.
I did wonder about that.
because she's 5'10".
And he is not.
He's just not.
He's a little tiny pretend man. When you ask if the pilot scene, if the flight scenes are with models, like only the ones of him getting into one. Yeah, he's just climbing into a little like Buzz Lightyear airplane.
A little booster seat on it. We shouldn't take the piss out of his height. He can't help that, but he can help being a Scientologist. So we should take the piss out of that instead.
But I like science.
So later, she's dressed all piloty in the elevator and he steps in freshly showered. Is this the same day? Is that the shower he was going for?
No, I think this is a different one.
He just showers a lot.
You fucking should.
He sweats a lot. In every scene, he's either wet from sweat or wet from the shower he just had.
Just a very wet man. They nearly kiss, but then the colonel steps in and interrupts it. And then we cut to some kind of like family visit day. Wives and children are dropped off. Goose's wife lets him know that Goose has told him the big secret and he's in love with an instructor. He's like, don't tell anyone. That was where I stopped watching it in my first session.
Oh, you took a break?
I took 2 breaks. I was very tired.
This is one of the first films I've seen in a long time where I didn't want to take a break. I was kind of into it. Guys, I didn't check my phone much at all.
It's the happiest you've ever made me.
I paused once or twice to listen to a voice note, but I then kept back on it. I was into
I
this.
thought you were going to say something else.
Interesting. No, I was into it. I didn't feel the need to have a break, and it was like 10 p.m. I was enjoying it.
So they're back in the classes. They're talking about aerial combat theory. If you think you're dead, you're dead. That's a big gamble with a $30 million plane. Just lots of smug lines like that are important later.
I thought that was a weird line though, because they're talking about like mortality, and she's like, "Yeah, but they're expensive, so don't." It's like,
Yeah.
he's on about sacrificing his life to do what he thinks is right for the country
We
and
want the plane
fight. But he's like,
back.
yeah, but could you like just taxi it after?
Set autopilot to return home while you're dying in it. That'd be great. Iceman's really smug because Maverick was wrong. And I thought, oh, I bet that's important later. There was just a lot of emphasis on the way that was done. He was like, I like to take risks. She would say, that's incorrect. And Iceman's like, yeah.
Iceman, John Iceman. I hate these names, by the way. Let's talk about it. How do they get the names? Why do they keep them? I hate it so much. What's going on?
I think in the Navy, they are allocated to you by your squadron, I believe. You know, if like someone spills beans in the cinema while watching Cars 2, they become Beanie Boy or something like that, then that's it for branded for life.
That sounded like it cut you, bro.
Mark, do you have a nickname I'm not aware of?
Let's say, hypothetically, you're watching Cars 2.
Don't call me Beans. It makes me cry.
Like, there's got to be a few that just don't do anything particularly notable, and they're just like
Jonesy.
Jonesy. Because they've all got names that are like animals or something that's like, you know, quote unquote,
Something
cool.
aggressive. Yeah.
It's all very cringy. I didn't enjoy it.
Do you think Jester's name is ironic? Ironic because he's a boring
Got
bastard.
no sense of humour. Yeah, it could be.
Viper is very cringe. Iceman is very cringe.
Hollywood?
Is that just he loves himself?
Probably just from Hollywood. Cougar probably fucked a 40-year-old in basic training. What else we got? Goose? How do you get Goose? Goose is just an animal. It's not even a cool animal.
Because he's silly.
Because he's a silly goose.
Slider? Iceman's Rio?
Yeah.
Slider, I don't know how you would get that.
Ate a burger really fast.
Also, I don't know what Rio means. I heard that term a few times.
We're a radar intercept officer.
Yeah.
That's stupid. Do you ever think sometimes they make up the acronym first?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, there's too many convenient ones. They sort of finish off that conversation with Maverick saying, but it worked, right? She said something that really bothered me. She said, this is a perfect example of a textbook maneuver. Well, perfect example and textbook both mean.
They mean the same thing, don't they? Yeah.
Take My Breath Away starts playing during the class and they're just staring at each other in silence.
I knew sex was coming soon because I've seen something that now I know was a parody of Top Gun, and it was People's Silhouettes and Take My Breath Away playing. It was that kind of sex scene with different characters. So as soon as I heard Take My Breath Away, I was like, oh, these guys are going to fuck soon to this song.
Yeah, when they were staring at each other and that song that everyone knows is romantic started playing, I was like, oh, that's a spark between them, that fires of passion, their little argument. And then he's pissed off because his ego's been battered in front of everyone. I was like, oh, okay, maybe not sexy then. But she chases after him and he's just blanking her on a bike. I was like, is this a sexy?
It's weird foreplay, isn't it?
Yeah, really aggressive car chase.
And she is reckless in that car. Really nearly dies and nearly kills people.
He is just a fucking man-child, isn't he? Like, all through this. He's like, can I have a glass of water? Can I have a glass of wine? Can I use your shower? And then, I can't believe you insulted me in front of my friends.
Going home, I'm taking my bike.
Yeah, she catches up to him, says, you're a genius, Maverick, and I love you. But I just think he's a knob for the way he's behaved for the last, 20 minutes of this film. But then you get the slow-mo sex scene.
Did you know Take My Breath Away was written for Top Gun?
I did, thanks to the Netflix subtitles.
And do you reckon Iceman would have been a better lover?
No, he wants it over with. Efficiency, safety. He gets written consent. He wears a condom. You know, it's very safe.
All that boring shit. Consent and condoms. Fucking nerd.
So they're on another exercise opens with the line, I feel the need.
The need for speed.
Yeah. Did that come from this film then? Or did this come from Need for Speed, the video game?
That came out 20 odd years later.
I was like, that's so stupid. You can't fly slow in those fucking things. You're always going fast. So it's like, it's not impressive that surely you get over the whole speed thing. when you're a fast jet pilot.
They're all pumped because Viper's playing enemy today. Lots of people saying, God damn you, Maverick. There's lots of weird whispering like, come on, baby. Damn, this kid's good. Someone says, I'm too close for missiles. I'm switching to guns. I've heard people say that, but it's usually old men in pubs after they farted.
That's really good. That's really good.
I never knew where it came from or why they said it. And I still don't know why they're saying it.
I've never heard this outside of this film, but now I kind of want to use it somehow where it'll make sense. Not with farting, but like I want to find a context in which that makes sense.
Yeah, so Jester sneaks up and shoots down Maverick, tells them to hit the showers and never to leave their wingman behind. A lesson maybe he'll learn one day, even though he already demonstrated in the prologue that he didn't leave his wingman behind, but never mind. So Iceman grills him over being arrogant. John Iceman grills him over being arrogant and dangerous. And he's not wrong. He was arrogant and dangerous. So, but they all agree he's great at flying. So
I didn't expect this podcast to go. I didn't expect Mark to just be so firmly a fan of Iceman in this.
just everything he said was correct.
Well, what is this film called?
Top
I
Gun.
can't remember.
Yeah, Top Gun. And who wins the Top Gun? Who gets the first
Right,
point?
okay. Actually, I don't know. Like, legitimately, I don't know.
I don't understand.
I don't know. I must have had my attention elsewhere because I don't know who is the Top Gun. So
We'll tell you when we get there.
Yeah, we'll tell you when we get there.
my assumption is it's Tom Cruise. But anyway, I'm just glad to see Mark's got a favourite character. He's going to get an Iceman tattoo.
Iceman.
John Iceman.
So next scene, they're in the bar with the families, the secret instructor girlfriend. They're singing Great Balls of Fire. I was starting to notice at this point, there's a lot of references to crashing and burning in this film. I was starting to think, how many times have they joked about crash and burn balls of fire? I was like, shit, Goose is going to die in a crash.
Did you think that?
At this point, I was like, there's so much foreshadowing for Goose dying in a crash at this point. I was like, I just want to live to graduation. Great balls of fire, crash and burn. Oh, fuck. And then I thought back to in Hot Shots, what they do. It's a parody this is.
Oh. Well, that's cheating then, isn't it?
No, I wasn't thinking about this until after the film. I was like, yeah, they do that in Hot Shots. But in Hot Shots, the character who's the rear crew, as he's approaching for this last flight, like people are coming over to him saying, "Oh, can you sign this life insurance document to renew your contract?" He's like, "I'll do it when I land." Like, "Oh, here's your will. Do you want to update?" And he's like, "I'll do that later." And it's just like putting off all these important things. It's like, yeah, it's really obvious that this is going to be his last flight. I didn't expect it to come.
I didn't see it coming in the slightest,
Yeah.
just to be clear. I absolutely did not see it coming, and yeah. My entire thoughts during this scene was, why is there a child on the piano and why is Tom Cruise touching his butt?
I just realised a lot of foreshadowing, and I think all these references are now here just to make people sad when they rewatch the film. No one else in the bar seems bothered by how fucking loud they are, even there's people like on the table next to them just having a conversation while they are shouting and singing.
Some people don't mind it when others have fun, Mark. I'm just saying. Because also, they're not like really drunk and rowdy.
They're just rowdy.
They're just enjoying the song. And I feel like that's quite tolerable. Like, I'd enjoy that if people were just having a bit of a sing-song and it wasn't just because they were pissed.
Do you think Iceman would approve?
I don't think Iceman would approve. I think Iceman would have been putting a complaint to the council.
Perfect response.
It would have been like, actually, you shouldn't be exposing yourself to noises above 80 decibels before within 40 hours of a flight.
Your child's above 1.8 meters, they need to wear a helmet. It's stood next to Tom Cruise, so it couldn't be above 1.8.
What has happened? Why is Mark throwing shade now? What's happened here?
I am Team John Iceman.
He's found his person now, and this is him. This is him now for life.
I just didn't like Tom Cruise's character. I don't think I like Tom Cruise, but I definitely didn't like this character. So Danger Zone plays again while they're kissing on the docks for some reason.
Getting the most out of that license, aren't they?
Yeah, we have these 2 songs, we're going to use them. So they're back to training. Hop 31, 2 weeks to graduation. The trophy is still up for grabs. It's close between Maverick and Iceman. I didn't know Maverick was called Pete until now.
No one did.
Pete Mitchell.
He doesn't look like a Pete. Petes don't fly planes recklessly.
What do you think Iceman's name is?
Val Kilmer.
Val Iceman.
Tom Kazansky? Is that right?
Oh, yeah, they do say
Kazansky.
Yeah.
Kazansky, don't they?
Yeah, he's more of a Pete.
Oh,
Pete
yeah.
Rulesman.
Pete, bureaucracy rulesman.
Val Kilmer's dead.
Yeah, Val Kilmer's dead.
How did he die?
He did a documentary about his cancer.
And that killed him.
the documentary.
Good bit.
So getting close to graduation now, all to play for. A bit more tense now in these exercises. They're competing a bit for Top Gun, as it were. They're pursuing 3 enemy jets and they're making wisecracks to each other as normal, a bit of banter. Again, he says too close for missiles, switching to guns. And they're telling Iceman just to get out the way because they almost have a clear shot if he wasn't there, which implies Iceman is at fault. But everything up to this point has shown that Iceman is the very good pilot. He knows what he's doing. He's where he needs to be. Maverick just wants to kill Steel. But then as soon as Iceman moves out the way, he's caught in another jet's exhaust, enters a spin with engine failure, and they can't recover, and Maverick can't eject. So Goose triggers command eject. He gets creamed on the canopy on the way out. And that came a lot sooner than I was thinking. So
See, I read into this that Iceman was... I thought his ego got the best of him, yeah.
a little bit, yeah.
Because his Rio was saying something to suggest he should just back out as well.
Yeah.
But he was like, no, I really need to try and get this shot. I think something was just wrong with his lock-on equipment or something. Like, he should have had a target lock by then.
Because he's a good pilot. He's the best, yeah.
He should have realized he's not going to get it and moved. So, like, he should have followed whatever protocols in place for that rather than just persisting because his wingman was saying he's ready to take a clear shot. But yeah, this fucked me up a little bit because I wasn't expecting Goose to die. So as soon as the spin started happening, I was like, oh, he's going to ride this out. Maybe even somehow with the help of Iceman. And it's going to be like, something like, I don't know, he's going to like create a tailwind or something. I don't know, physics shit. But it really caught me off guard. I thought, no way do they eject from this. And then when he told them to eject, I was like, holy shit. Okay, right. They're going to eject and they're going to get in trouble. And Iceman's going to get in trouble for peeling off. Because as I understood it, I might be wrong, Iceman fucking off left like a lot of shit from his engine or from the wind moving, basically from the moisture of the air moving into the engine. And then that blew the engine out. That's how I understood it. I might be wrong. But he shouldn't have turned off so aggressively. Maybe that's how it happens. Maybe what happens is they eject, Iceman gets in trouble, everyone's fine. And then they were saying he was dead. I was like, no, he survives. He's going to get treated in a helicopter and he survives. But then he was just fucking dead. This genuinely gutted me. I was like really on Team Goose. Really liked him as a character. Just from him being such a big name, Maverick and Goose is just something I was aware of so much. I was like, he's in this whole movie. He's in the sequels. He's in it all. So this fucking took me off guard and I wasn't ready for it. I'm not gonna lie, I was quite sad.
I thought he got caught in the enemy jet stream and that's what knocked him off. So when Iceman moved, he went to get in close, got caught in the stream, but they found in the inquiry, it wasn't anything he could have prevented. It was just one of those things with physics. So yeah, the fishing Goose out the water with his really floppy neck, hoisting him up in the helicopter, all limp and spinning. I was like, oh, maybe he's all right.
Maybe his floppy neck is why they called him Goose.
But then Viper comes in. You find out it's Maverick. It's in the hospital, and Viper comes in and goes, yeah, he's dead.
Oh, that was a lot, wasn't it? Because he said it as if he was delivering the news, and then he was like, I know. He was like, right, get over it then.
Yeah, he's looking really red-eyed and serious when he's shaving in the mirror. Letting go of dead colleagues under your command. Oh, it's going to happen again, mate. Get over it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, don't worry, this will be quite a common occurrence, so you'll be fine.
Pain you're feeling now, you're going to feel it bi-weekly. Like,
if you want to know my advice, all your friends are going to die, so don't worry about it.
Just don't get too attached to them.
I was getting real, like, Aragorn vibes, when they're all crying over Gandalf. He's like, come on, let's get going. We got a quest to do. I was like, this guy needs to give Tom a minute. Because as far as he knows, he's going to that bathroom and just told him about the death. But he already had this speech lined up of telling him to get over it. Fucking weird behaviour. Even for a man in authority in the 80s talking to another man. And like, yeah, we know men aren't allowed to feel feelings. Never were, never will, never have. That'd be gay. But come on now. It's hours after his death, if that.
How did you respond to this, Amy?
I just cried a lot. I don't know if I've ever cried at this bit. Maybe it's because it's been so long since I last saw it. Even though I've seen it, I couldn't tell you how many times. It just gone for a good 10 minutes. And then I'd get better, then I'd cry again when it was like, oh, there's his family.
Who seemed fine with it. So Maverick's girlfriend drops him off. He's obviously struck with grief. Seems just to be acting like Tom Cruise, just wandering around with aviators on. They're packing up Goose's belongings. Goose's wife just looks bored at this point. He's just sitting in a room waiting for him to finish packing.
I didn't understand this trip to Goose's house. With no explanation, he just gets dropped off to his house and just steals some of his shit. I didn't quite understand it.
So at his hearing, they find him, he's not at fault, and he's back in the cockpit. And Viper says, get him back flying soon. At this point, it's like, how long has this process taken? Because when they were in exercise, they had 2 weeks till graduation. They've gone through a death, presumably a funeral, the hearing process, gathering evidence for that hearing process. Surely graduation's happened and he's missed it. No, apparently not.
Yeah, like that aircraft was in the sea and they've managed to do enough of an investigation to know what's gone wrong in less than a fortnight. Is insane.
There was definitely a point around here where maybe Viper said, it's been 3 days.
Get over it.
Jesus Christ. When he was in Goose's house, I did put one note that was just cry, mate, because he was clear. I couldn't tell if it was Tom Cruise failing to cry properly or if it's just a guy fighting back tears. Just Maverick was just fighting it. You're alone in the house with the man who died's wife. You can have a cry. She's not going to mind. But he was still just like, so full of pride and like so ego-centered that he's like, I'm not going to cry. He's like pushing back these tears to the point of like warping his face. It was just have a fucking cry. Give her a cuddle and have a cry. You both need her.
But now he's the one who's distracted and nervous to fly, going back to, what was his name from the start of the film? Cougar, that's it, yeah.
I was wondering who was going to fly with him now. Because who wants that job?
Yeah.
We've got this really dangerous pilot, never follows the rules, and killed someone 3 days ago. So, you want to jump in? Black guy in an 80s movie? Do you want to have a go?
I think what I was the most confused about here is surely everyone's already paired off.
Just a spare guy.
No, someone else's pilot dies. So.
Yeah. Perfect. His new crewmate is not happy with how jittery he is, how nervous he is. He's very quick to abort maneuvers and he's lost his edge, but Viper insists he keeps flying, get back on the saddle, all that jazz. Iceman shares condolences in the locker room. Again, he's just a stand-up guy. That's a really respectful thing to do. Like, there's no jokes, there's no, I told you you'd do that if you carried on being a dick. He's like, I'm really sorry for your loss, mate, and then leaves, and that's it.
He did this weird tick thing. Before he said something sincere, it's almost like he had to hold back the sark, because he would do this thing, and if you ever watch it back, you'll realise, he'll like say whatever, and then he'll look up, and then he'll look at him, and then say the sincere thing, and then like a few words go, and then he did it again. He looked up and looked down and said another sincere thing. It was like he had to, don't say that, his friend just died. He had to coach himself not to be quite so ruthless as he usually could, because he probably wanted to just go off and want to be like, it's kind of your fault.
No, I thought he was emotional as well, and that's why he was doing it, because he's a really nice guy, he's really empathetic.
Why does Mark get Jesus Christ for that, Amy, compared to like Rhys's comment about shagging?
I expect it from Rhys.
Mark is diagnosing himself right now. I'm going to mail this to a psychologist and we'll get that diagnosis in days.
He's just going to spend the rest of his life going, what would Iceman do?
I think Iceman would alphabetize this list.
So a guy called Wolfman, I don't know, we've introduced him by his name. Yeah,
he was lingering, wasn't he? I was like, who's this guy? I don't recognise him at all.
So he sees Maverick getting clothes and leave and goes, oh, he's quit. I didn't assume he quit after seeing that. I thought he was just going home for the day. But you saw that and went, Maverick's quit.
Why was he there?
He was lingering so as not to be heard in that conversation. I was like, wait, is this something sinister? Like, am I totally missing a B plot somewhere where, like, there's a spy? It was really weird, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't read into that at all that Mav had left or was going to leave. It was really wild. It's just like he was done for the day.
Maybe that's why the line was needed, to make you aware of it, because it's like, oh, he's just going home. Yeah.
Wolfman was Hollywood's Rio.
They should have simple names like Red 1, Red 2, Red 3, Red 4, Red 5. They should be in perfect lines and they should all stick to the rules. His girlfriend, professor, instructor, catches up to him at the bar, said she's got a new job in Washington, and she said, you're one of the best pilots in the Navy, and then tries to convince him to go back. But his best friend died days ago, and she's trying to like go, oh, just start flying again, stop being a pussy.
It does feel like throughout this whole film, she was like, I'm not interested. And then she kind of went, oh, you're a good pilot? Maybe. And then he kind of got bad again, and she was like, nah, I'm going now.
She does only ever want to fuck him because he's a good pilot, to be clear. Like, that's
Yeah.
the only redeeming factor he's got about him. So as soon as that's gone, I think the attraction's gone.
I thought she just wanted to fuck him to get the information about the MiGs.
But then she did actually say that she could have just read that. When she was in a lift, she was like, I had the reports. I didn't need to invite you to my house.
Amy, can you say good pilot again? Because you sounded underwater when you said the words good pilot.
Good pilot.
Can you call me a good boy now?
I was about to then, and I had to stop myself. I was this close.
Me too.
Good boy.
Right, see you guys.
Oh, Amy and Rhys fucking. Find out next time on Dead Spots and Club.
She eggs him on to not quitting because he got good at flying that one move he does sometimes that everyone tells him not to do. And then she leaves before her ice water arrives.
That pissed me off. That poor waitress.
He goes to Viper's house and his wife knows him. She says, Mike will be down soon. It's like, I didn't know he was called Mike. Is it Mike Viper?
There's like a background story here where like she fucks every recruit on that course.
On the base. Yeah.
Fun fact, not about her. The real Viper is the old man at the start of the film that Charlie's talking to in the bar.
Oh, that gets rescued from.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a bit of a heart-to-heart. He shares how he flew with his father and he hints that he knows he didn't crash by accident, releases some classified information. You know, his dad was actually a hero. He got hit but stayed behind to shoot down enemy fighters so others could escape. But it was somewhere that they shouldn't have been at the time, so it stayed classified. And they had to make up the cover story that he just crashed because he was shit. The message that Maverick gets from that is, so you think I should quit? Viper says, I didn't say that. Viper tells him to evaluate and learn from what happened, but he has enough points to graduate if he wants to. So, you know, just come on by to the graduation. At this point, I take another break because I'm tired. So he starts watching planes fly around at night and considers his future. Very 80s. Maverick finally shows up. You didn't get a trophy. Congratulates the better man, Iceman.
So Iceman won.
Iceman is Top Gun, yeah.
Iceman is the main character of Top Gun, as he is the Top Gun.
Because he's the best. Everyone's really civilized, you know, despite all the rivalries. Everyone's just like, cool. Congratulations, Iceman. He's like, yeah, cheers, thanks. That's the end of it. There's no like banter or anything. It's great.
Almost like it doesn't fucking matter at all.
Yeah.
And as soon as that trophy is given or whatever he gets, I don't know, I wasn't paying attention. As soon as that little competition's over, they will realise that was all really fucking trivial.
Yeah. Oh, we're going back to the job we were doing last week. Cool. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So the party dissolves because they've got new orders and they're going back to the Indian Ocean. There's 2 filming locations.
Quite expensive ones, to be fair.
Yeah. Viper says he'll fly with him, and that's worth more than any trophy. 24 hours later, they're on the carrier. I don't know how that worked. They went from a party in America wearing uniform to packing to getting to the Indian Ocean and being on a carrier ready to go in under a day. I don't know how that happened in the 80s.
Don't mind me just Googling which one the Indian Ocean is.
The one next to India.
All of you to assume I know where India is.
So yeah, the flights from Miramar to India today would be 18 hours and 50 minutes. So that's a significant chunk of that time. He's got to pack, he's got to fly. They've got to again get to the carrier. Love to know how the maths works, but never mind.
That's, I just checked that's a 30-hour trip.
Fuck.
Because obviously, like, you wouldn't fly straight over the ocean just because of,
No.
yeah. So
And
you'd still
yeah,
have to
going
like,
over the Bering Strait and then over Vietnam in 86, all these communist countries, probably wouldn't have happened in the Cold War. Especially if they took like a military passenger jet together. But that's just the Iceman in me talking. So they've been given orders to rescue a ship that's drifting into enemy territory. Maverick is fucking sweaty. Absolutely dripping sweat. Iceman tries to convince the leadership that Maverick's not ready to fly. Fair point. The guy is dripping with sweat, just sitting in the room. Maybe he's not okay. So he's put in reserve, standby to assist while they go to scout. The enemies start multiplying as they get closer from some kind of fancy radar hiding technique, where they'll fly under each other, I guess.
even though they're all next to each other.
You see a shot inside the Russian, presumably Russian, some kind of Soviet pilot, and they look like the baddies from Star Wars. You know, just like the enemy stormtrooper pilots, just black armor, black helmet.
Black helmet, red star. They don't get a call sign on their helmet because they don't have names.
Well, communism, you can't have individuality. So a friendly gets shot down, so Maverick is scrambled as reserve. Iceman's on his own. He's trying to shake 6 enemy aircraft on his own. Everyone has been sprayed by water today. Like, everyone you see on deck is just dripping sweat. The pilots are all sweaty. I think in like the films they do use like a mix of vegetable glycerin and something else to make like
there's something
stays on.
starchy in that sweat, isn't there? It's so weird and clingy.
So after they've launched Maverick, the catapult's broken, so conveniently no more backup is coming. But Iceman's holding his own because he's a good pilot. The best, some might say. So he's dodging the missiles.
I don't think they make a big enough deal of that catapult being broken, by the way.
Yeah, it's like, it's down for maintenance, sorry.
They just say it in passing as if the fucking commander of it, or whatever his rank is, wasn't made aware that the only thing that deploys the main deterrent of that vessel is broken. And he's not been made aware already. And there's people out there dying in the sky. What do you mean? What do you possibly mean we can't launch anything off this fucking aircraft carrier and I'm not aware? Ridiculous. But then they were like, oh, it's okay, it'll be fixed in 10 minutes. How do you know that? What information have you got? Why is that? How have you been made aware it's broken, assessed it, and know it's going to be fixed within 10 minutes? I don't get that.
Because Dave's on his break and he's got 10 minutes left.
Yeah, the catapult guy.
Silly contract.
So Maverick arrives, immediately has a MiG on his tail, gets jet washed, like that one time that thing happened with Goose and that. Understandably, he's a bit shaken, but he recovers this time. He has a little moment and bails on the fight, but everyone's shouting at him. You know, Iceman's calling him, saying, where are you going? I need your help. His Rio's like, what the fuck are you doing? We need to turn around and go back and help him. And he's like, we can't. But then there's a cuddle with Goose's dog tags. Just talk to me, Goose. And then he turns around to go back and fuck up some MiGs.
Some what?
MiGs.
Jesus fucking Christ. Wow.
So he blows up one of them, back in the game, starts getting his confidence back, dodges some more. Really hard to tell what's going on at this point now, even with everyone over-explaining what's happening. Like, I've dodged one, I've shot one.
I don't have any more notes of this apart from this one just saying, I have no idea what's going on, but I'm here. Like, I'm present in the moment, but I'm just wishing the best for everybody involved, really.
And he goes, I'm not leaving my wingman. It's like, oh, he's learned something, cool. Iceman takes down a MiG, but takes a hit, loses an engine, and then he's got another one on his tail. Maverick's like, oh, I've got a plan. On the count of 3, break right. And then he goes, 3, 2, 1, break right.
That.
Like, that's not
on. Hated that, because you know, if Iceman is anything like Iceman, as soon as he heard 3, he's going.
Why didn't he just go, I've got a plan, break right? They should have the reaction time to be able to do something with that.
Or just like break right now. Not on the count of 3. 3? Wait, no.
3, 2, 1.
1.
And he misses a shot anyway, so it doesn't work.
I hated that so much. They could have reshot that.
So he devises the plot to lure the MiGs closer, uses a risky move from his rogue days to get behind and blow up another one, and the MiGs retreat. And the day is saved. The same coffee guy is on this deployment as well. He's in the tower. That's funny, isn't it?
Again, he had better things to be looking at.
Yeah, in the middle of his aerial battle, he's just like, coffee, please. They land heroically. Everyone's quite pleased that they killed men.
Big reception to this, isn't there?
Considering there's 2 dead guys in the sea right now.
The Chinook does land behind the crowd of screaming people with like bodies on it, and everyone's just like running and shouting and cheering.
Woo, Maverick!
On this live airstrip.
But he's best buddies with Iceman now, so he says, you can be my wingman anytime.
No, more like, you can be mine, is his reply.
No, I'm the boss.
You can be my wingman. I get to hold you. No, you get to. No, I.
They're arguing over who's the top then, yeah.
Basically.
The top gun.
Iceman gives like topping from the bottom vibes.
So he chucks Goose's dog tags in the sea. I did say, surely someone would have wanted them.
I didn't see him do that. Did he do that? That's horrible.
He's like, I don't need these anymore because I've got my mojo back. Fucking hell.
That's horrible. That's unforgivable. Oh my god.
That's not even where he died.
Oh my god. That's really bad. I can't believe he did that.
It's like, you just want to give it to his son or his wife, not just like throw it in the Indian Ocean. When no one's going to see it again.
Can you imagine 15 years time? Yeah, I know my dad was a really good friend of yours. I heard you kept his dog tags. Can I see them? Oh, buddy, I got really excited after killing some Russians and threw them in the sea. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, all right, that's fine, I guess. That's the only thing we had because you took everything else as well. It's just like mum's going through a hard time and she lost the house. And yeah, you took all his memorabilia, but that would have been nice. But that's okay, Mav.
And then Maverick expresses his desire. He wants to be an instructor at Top Gun. And then it skips the rest of the deployment. It goes straight back to America. Someone puts that song on. Predictably, it's her. She put it on, that song from the start in the bar. So she didn't go to Washington. She came back to be with Maverick. He says the line she said earlier about it being complicated. And then the film ends.
Presumably he doesn't get to be an instructor because he wasn't the Top Gun.
Yeah, why would they want second
Well,
best
they said
if
at the beginning, they were like, the Top Gun gets the opportunity to come back and be an instructor. So, like, you get to just do that anyway, then it's pointless, huh?
Maybe Iceman didn't want it, yeah.
It's basically the only thing you win,
There was a plaque, wasn't there?
I guess.
Yeah, name on a plaque.
You don't get to take the plaque, though, do you?
No, but it's there.
I noticed something about the dogfight.
Oh, yeah. What, the final one?
The big final one, yeah. They only used missiles throughout the Russians used guns, they used missiles.
Yeah.
But when they first went to the course, he said the reason they had to do this was because of an over-reliance on missiles and to bring back the old-fashioned dogfighting and using guns. Didn't fucking work, did it?
No.
No.
No, it was really pointless because there were a lot of times I was like, they're close enough for guns now. They're going to do that. Or like when Iceman was in a bit of trouble, I was like, oh, cool. Like he could fire his guns a little bit as a bit of a deterrent, even if he doesn't have lock on. He's really outnumbered. He could be firing some guns. That was annoying, I found, because the Russians, I'm going to say Russians, I don't know if they were Russians or not. They were,
Soviet.
they were
some
pretty
kind.
trigger happy with their guns, and they did some damage.
This fictional part of the Cold War where shots were exchanged and no one cared. No war started.
That was Top Gun. The toppest of guns.
It's the best Top Gun film I've seen.
Hands down.
So we've gone through it. Now, obviously, just before this was watched, we played a little mini game. We saw if you could guess the rest of the line. So, Andy, you've got the lines there.
Yes.
So we'll go through, see how right you were, see how completely off you were for the rest of them.
So the first one, which you both had the same answer for, so the line was, I feel the need, and you both answered Need for Speed.
Nailed it.
Was that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, tick.
Like the video game.
The next one was, if you think, blank. Now, Mark, you put Therefore I Am.
Yeah.
Rhys put Then You Can Deliver.
What? What?
I'm reading my note.
Did you handwrite your notes?
Yeah.
What's wrong with
This
you?
is from when we did it.
I said, then you can deliver.
Apparently. Come on, Mark.
If you can think,
You're dead.
Oh.
It's Maverick saying you've got to be impulsive and risky
dumb.
and really unsafe.
Okay. The next one was, Your ego is blank. Now, I know I wrote Rhys's answer right.
I now know it was cash and checks your body can't. No, writing checks your body can't cash. What was Mark's answer?
So big it won't fit in the cockpit.
Same sort of, principle.
Okay, what did I say?
Taking us to places that we can go.
They sung that while they were on a magic carpet ride. What a ridiculous thing to say.
The last one was, You Can Be My blank.
One of us say bodyguard.
Nope.
I have no idea what I said. I know it's wingman now.
Mark said wingman.
Well done.
Rhys, you said hero, baby.
You can be my... Yep. Okay. I didn't do well there.
I mean, Mark got 2 right. You got 1 right.
To be fair, Mark had watched a parody, which I'm now learning was the same as this movie.
I didn't know the plot of this at all. I would not have been able to guess. I've watched Hot Shots once. And Hot Shots came out 2 years after I was born. It's old.
So, predictions. Have you got the predictions written in your handwriting, Andy?
Fuck. Nope.
I said several times at the start, do you have the predictions? Do you have the predictions? Do you have the predictions?
When?
And you kept ignoring me.
When did you ask that?
As we started, I asked quite a few times, do you have the predictions?
No. Fuck.
Cool.
Fucking hell. Well, I predicted everything correctly. I seem to remember.
I knew that Danger Zone was in it.
So what did you think in general about the soundtrack?
The music it had worked really, really well for the purpose. I think Danger Zone was perfect for it. And it did psych me up at the beginning. It psyched me up during the 8 dogfights that it was playing during. I do feel, similarly to other movies we've watched around this era, it wouldn't have hurt them to get a few more songs on board just for a bit of variety, because it gets a bit played out after a while, doesn't it?
See, I've had this soundtrack for decades now. It's quite a common one that I use when I do a workout because there's quite a lot of songs in it. But I've got a very specific memory for this. In the middle of France with some friends playing a Resident Evil game, and it was terrifying. And because it was so terrifying, we put this soundtrack on and it made the game instantly playable. Because up until that point, it was just like we're in a dark place with forests around us. There's no one for miles around. Played a terrifying game. Let's put Danger Zone on, make it better.
What is on the soundtrack?
I'm trying to remember how the song went during the volleyball game.
Playing with the boys.
Oh, yeah.
How did it go?
I'm not going to sing it.
I was going to say, what is the full soundtrack for this? It's Danger Zone, Playing with the Boys, Take My Breath Away. Is that the three?
There's the Top Gun theme, which it plays at the very, very start, which is not Danger Zone. What else we got?
Now that I'm watching the volleyball scene again for the 30th time, I'm realizing that all they do is spike shots.
The soundtrack part that bothered me was when Take My Breath Away played during a car chase. That was pretty weird. But other than that, it was appropriate for the time and what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm struggling to name more than 3 songs. But now you mentioned an extra one, Top Gun theme.
I don't even remember the Top Gun theme.
Top Gun theme, I've got it here. That's a really good song. It's like the classic.
Is it Steve Vai?
No, it's Steve Stevens. It sounds like a fake person.
I think it just could have done with a bit more variety, but in general, all the songs served a pretty good purpose and were well chosen. And I guess the job of a soundtrack is to add to each scene, and it does each time. And if I hear any of those songs again, I will think of the movie. So
quite a lot of people turned down playing that song. Toto, Bryan Adams, REO Speedwagon, Jefferson Starship. They all turned it down because they felt the film was warmongering. There were also a lot of people that were going to play Maverick instead of Tom Cruise. And they offered it to Patrick Swayze, Matthew Modine, John Travolta, Michael J. Fox, Tom Hanks, Rob Lowe. The reason the director was picked for this film is because he'd shot a car advert where they'd used real jets.
Wow.
Yeah, he was one of the only directors at the time who'd had experience shooting jets. And he was almost fired because of the volleyball scene.
Fired?
Because it took like a full day of shooting, added nothing at all.
either lie, that was a downright lie.
And he put a lot of time and money and all sorts into getting that shot.
I did think there'd be more volleyball.
I was surprised looking back how little volleyball there was. I felt like it was longer.
I think in my version it was longer. I kept pausing and rewinding it. I'd be surprised to hear it took up a disproportionate amount of filming because there were only like 3 shots involved.
That could have literally been a lunch break between other shoots.
They didn't even change.
He got less sweaty on his motorbike than he was playing volleyball.
He also paid the captain of the ship at the very start a lot of money to turn it around just because he wanted the sunset behind them when he did all those takeoff shots.
I mean, worth it. It's a good shot.
So Rhys has said kind of throughout it that he quite enjoyed it. You know, he watched it all in one go without his phone that much. That's a pretty high regard from him. Mark, what did you think of it in general?
I thought for a product of the 80s, it was good, but I don't think this is my kind of film. Didn't really like the tone. I don't really like how it framed the hero as being some kind of this flawed, arrogant hero.
Yeah, Iceman.
It's very, very 80s. Yeah. Very, very 80s. Something about most films made before 1995, it just makes me quite tired. I don't know, it's just the way it's mastered or something. I just don't know what it is.
So just because you're used to them having been on in the house after you've gone to bed, so whenever you've heard them, they were
Maybe.
like, Mark, go back to bed. You still get your parents' voice in your head.
There was just some strange choices with the film and some of the way lines are delivered. It is made in that time when lines had to be delivered with perfect diction because, you know, they couldn't do as many reshoots. They couldn't fix it in post. And you could tell, like, sometimes they did multiple shots and they cut together 2 very strange shots. And it makes conversation sound a bit off sometimes. And that just jars me a bit in 80s films. I appreciate it for what it is. I can see how some quotes have stuck around, how some scenes are memorable, how some people are emotionally attached to this film. But I don't think it's the kind of film I would watch again.
Okay, what would you rate it out of 10?
6 out of 10.
Okay.
That wounded you,
Rhys?
I could see.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Rhys, what about you?
So a lot of this relies on how I went into it. I went into this movie expecting a bit of a camp actiony romp, and that's exactly what I got. Had I expected it to be even close to like a war film or an action film, I'd have been a bit disappointed. I think every actor in this was lucky to get work afterwards, to be honest. It's the kind of movie where so much money was put into it. I imagine so much marketing was done that this movie had to be a success. Therefore, it was. And then everyone in it has happened to have really big careers following that. But objectively, the acting is shit. The writing is pretty bad. The little details about it are all pretty shit. Cinematography's bad. Lighting's bad in a lot of them. The way they walk is weird. There's a lot of stuff that just bugged me. But as a general experience, it was a vibe. I enjoyed it. I would watch it again. And if someone said they hadn't seen it, I'd be like, you should. It's a laugh. It's a good watch. It was a bit emotional. Yeah, definitely felt for Goose. There was noteworthy things about every character apart from the ones that just barely showed up. And I think that's rare in 80s movies. Everyone wasn't clearly in this box of archetype. They all had a little bit of something to them, which is a bit rare around the time as well. So yeah, I think it was good. Enjoyed it. I just think it objectively probably has a lot wrong with it.
Following women into bathrooms.
That wasn't a warning you guys gave at all. Throwing that
Endorsed
out there,
behaviour.
that did mark it down a little bit for me. It marked down the whole romance situation for me because then I wasn't bought into what was quite a big aspect of the movie was the romance between those two. To be fair, I didn't actually expect a love interest in Top Gun when I was going into watching it. I thought it was going to be more of a bromance movie. But with Goose dying 40 minutes in, you don't really get that. So it then becomes like your hook emotionally is the romance, but I'm already against that because it's got this creepy undertone of like the power dynamic between them, but also him being a bit of a fucking creep. So there's a lot of it I shouldn't like, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time.
I still need a number.
I'm afraid I'm also going to go with a 6.
Let's reshoot that and let's say 8. Okay, cool.
We've
Andy?
got, like 5 is watchable. I
Yeah.
would encourage someone to watch this, so it's a little bit better than 5. But we've already got 7s out there. I don't think this is as good as.
Yeah, it's not like the modern, video game ratings where the game is shit, it's a 7. The game is perfect, it's a 9, and that's the only spectrum. This is like on a true spectrum where 1 and 2 are bad films, 4 to 6 are average, 7 to 10 are good. It's upper average.
It's not Galaxy Quest, but it's not Scream.
No, God, no.
It's not that good.
And did you have the predictions?
I do. We'll start with Mark's because he made like 2 of them.
Oh, cool.
So he started off by saying that he'd heard of Maverick and Goose and he'd heard of the song Danger Zone before. His prediction was this would be a Cold War gone hot. They would be at war with some Eastern country, but not specifically named.
Fucking bang on.
He also predicted there would be some planes shot down.
I'm not going to live down the hot shots allegations, am I?
No.
No.
Cheat. Fix.
Rhys.
Yes.
Rhys. So your first prediction was that Tom Cruise would be some sort of maverick who doesn't play by the rules.
So bang on.
You'd heard that there'd be someone called Goose, but you weren't sure if it was a man or a woman. You predicted there'd be some kind of war.
I ran out of predictions at this point, didn't I?
You'd heard of the line because I was inverted and predicted that would be a big part of it.
Yeah, so that was bigger in my head than it was in the movie. And the reason being, looking back, I feel like I'd seen like a supercut on TikTok. Well, not TikTok, I didn't have TikTok when I saw it, but like on Instagram where it was just like a short video of her saying, how did you do this? And then him going, because I was inverted. And then like a beat dropping as if that was like a mic drop moment. And that's what I imagined. No one seemed to give a shit when he said he was inverted.
No one believed
I
him.
thought it was quite a cool thing to say. And I'll maintain that. So I'm going to take the point.
Fair enough. You predicted there'd be a lot of shirts off, mostly topless dudes, but you predicted there'd be a few bikinis thrown in there to balance it
There
out.
wasn't a single bikini in this movie, was there?
No.
These guys knew what they liked. This director knew what he wanted to spend his 24 hours looking at, and it was not the bikini ladies. A lot of topless dudes, though. Lots of scenes in that changing room that could have been done anywhere.
Yeah.
It was a very sweaty, topless movie, actually. You hear jokes about the sort of homoerotic era of cinema, but I do wonder if something a little bit untoward was going on, because it was a bit gratuitous.
Oh, Andy, what was the fact we learned yesterday? Was it Quentin Tarantino?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Tarantino suggested that this film was actually Maverick's battle against his homosexual feelings.
I can see it.
Yeah.
With Iceman being straightness, right?
Don't know, that's all we got told.
Iceman has no interest in such pursuits. I can guarantee you that.
He is asexual.
Iceman's had sex twice to have each of his children.
He did it for science. He got the data he needed. And then
Yeah, I can see that. Could definitely be a journey of not self-discovery. Refusal to self-discover.
That is all of the predictions, yeah.
You said at the start you had a fact for us about. I said, was it based on a novel? And you said you had some facts.
This film was written after someone read an article in a paper about Top Gun Academy. From that, they did this entire thing. Because of its popularity, the Top Gun Academy itself gave a $5 fine if anyone mentioned the film at all while they were there.
Do we know if it increased Navy recruitment?
It did, not as much as some things say. They did have naval booths in cinemas. The next year it increased quite a lot, but then it dropped a little bit the next year. Even so many years later, a lot of people who joined the forces in whatever capacity quoted this as one of the films that they watched that made them interested in it, but it wasn't necessarily an instant uplift.
I think we're still there now, to be honest with you. Knowing pilots, they're still knocking about, 30 years later, having that image of pilots are cool because Top Gun is cool. I think it has done a lot for that. Like, not just Top Gun, obviously. There are some movies around that era that were the same, but I think they have had a really long effect on just how pilots are seen in the world, and that probably affects recruitment in a way that can't be measured.
They did want to do a sequel 3 years later, but there was an incident with a lot of pilots and some women that was not good, and it was seen as the Top Gun mentality.
Oh, that never happens in this country.
Glad all that's died down.
And so because of that, when they put the idea forward to the Navy for them to do it again, they were pretty much just told where to go.
The guys that showed a pilot wandering into the ladies' room after someone that had rejected them didn't want it to be seen after there was uproar about pilots and non-consensual contact with ladies. Weird.
Yeah, definitely don't Google Red Arrow's predatory behaviour.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. That you'll find nothing there.
Some sources claim that the year after Top Gun came out, naval recruitment spiked by 400%, but that turned out to just be one guy just making up stats.
You're as useful as that guy. Thanks, Andy.
You're welcome.
Here's a fact that wasn't true.
I mean, I hear there are sequels / remakes. What's the situation there?
It's a quite recent Top Gun 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the one that I haven't seen, and I wanted to watch it yesterday, but Andy wouldn't let me.
As I understand, there was one fairly recently, and then that one's getting a sequel now.
Yeah.
Was there anything else in the last 40 years?
No, there were talks of it a couple of years ago, but the director committed suicide. I think he'd been with Tom Cruise a couple of days earlier, scouting locations, and then he committed suicide, so they put a halt on that.
Did he say something about Boeing?
Did they suggest flying to a certain island? Cut. Okay, interesting. So it was basically standalone for the best part of 40 years. Good to know. Weird, though. Weird that such a successful movie wouldn't have brought on a sequel any earlier, but I guess that's part of the beauty of it, I suppose.
You are still dangerous. You can be my wingman anytime. Bullshit. You can be mine.
And that brings us to the end of another episode. Thank you for listening to our review of Top Gun. So, as always, thanks for joining me, Amy, along with Andy, Mark, and Rhys as we tick off another cinematic How Have We Not Seen This off the list. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to join us next time when we send someone else on another long overdue movie mission. If you want to support us or get involved, have a look on Instagram on DSCC Podcast, YouTube, TikToks, everything are all linked on there. Until then, remember, you can be our wingman anytime.
Bye, Cruise.